Chapter 1. The Boy Who Dreamed Big. Welcome. Today, we will learn English through an inspiring story about a boy who changed the world. This is the story of Mark Zuckerberg. You will hear simple English words, sentences, and expressions. You will also learn life lessons about curiosity, courage, and ambition. By the end of this story, you will feel motivated and your English will improve. Let's begin. Mark was a boy, like many other boys. He went to school, he played with friends, he had toys, games, and a normal life. But Mark was also different. While other boys played outside, Mark often stayed in his room. He loved computers. He wanted to know how they worked. He wanted to create something new. Even as a teenager, Mark thought about big ideas. He did not only play games, he wanted to make something that could help people. At home, Mark spent hours with his computer. He read books about programming. He typed lines of code. Sometimes the code worked, and sometimes it did not. But Mark did not give up. He enjoyed learning. He loved solving problems. His friends and family saw that he was different. They could see his passion. Many people do not work so hard at a young age. Many children only think about games or fun. But Mark was curious. His curiosity was strong. It gave him energy. Mark also liked challenges. When something was difficult, he did not stop. He tried again and again. If a program failed, he learned why. If an idea did not work, he thought of a new plan. This attitude made him special. Ordinary children might feel tired or bored with difficult tasks. Mark saw challenges as adventures. Every problem was a puzzle to solve. Every mistake was a lesson. Even though he was young, Mark dreamed big. He imagined a world where people could connect easily. He thought about helping friends talk to each other. He wanted people to share ideas. He wanted a tool for everyone, not just for a few. Many children only think about today. Mark thought about the future. He thought about how he could make life better for many people. This story is not only about technology. It is also about courage, hard work, and dreams. You will see how a small boy with a big mind grew into a person who changed the world. You will also practice English with this story. You will learn new words like curious, challenge, imagine, and connect. You will see simple sentences, repeated words, and clear ideas. It is easy to understand and useful for learning English. Now, imagine yourself in Mark's shoes. You are a young boy or girl. You have a computer, a notebook, and a dream. What will you do? Will you play games all day, or will you explore, learn, and create something new? Mark chose the second path. That choice made all the difference. As we continue, we will see how Mark's curiosity grew. We will see how he learned programming and built his first projects. We will follow his journey from a normal boy to a young genius. You will learn lessons about persistence, problem solving, and creativity. You will also practice English in a fun and meaningful way. This is the beginning of Mark's story, a story about a boy with curiosity, a boy with a dream, and a boy who wanted to change the world. Chapter 2. Early Curiosity and Love for Technology. Welcome back. In this part of the story, we will learn how Mark Zuckerberg's curiosity started. You will also practice English words and sentences about learning, exploring, and creating. Let's see how a young boy's love for technology changed his life. Mark was not like most children. While his friends ran outside to play soccer or ride bicycles, Mark stayed inside. He spent hours at his computer. His room was full of books about programming and electronics. He liked to read, to type, and to see how computers worked. To him, every screen was a world full of ideas. Every line of code was a door to something new. When Mark was 10 years old, he created his first computer program. It was a simple game. In this game, a user could move characters on the screen. It was not perfect. Sometimes it did not work. Sometimes the computer crashed. But Mark was happy. He had built something from nothing. He learned how to fix mistakes. He learned how to make the game better. Other children played games made by someone else. Mark made his own games. Mark also liked to experiment. He tried different programs, even small ones, just to see what happened. If one idea did not work, he tried another. One day, he wrote a program that could send messages between computers in his house. His father and sister were amazed. They could send notes without leaving their rooms. Mark felt proud. He understood that technology could make life easier and fun. At school, Mark was curious in every subject, not only computers. He asked many questions. Some teachers thought he was unusual. Others saw his passion. He liked solving puzzles and learning new things. His curiosity was strong. It pushed him to explore more and more. Sometimes his friends did not understand him. They wanted to play outside or watch television. Mark preferred to sit and learn. He did not feel lonely. He felt happy when he discovered something new. Every problem was a challenge, and every success was a reward. This contrast shows how different children can be. Some children wait for fun. Mark created fun. Mark's curiosity was not only about programs, it was about learning how the world worked. He read books about science, math, and technology. He tried to connect ideas from different fields. Sometimes he drew diagrams on paper. Sometimes he wrote small programs. Everything he did had a purpose: learning and creating. By the time Mark was 12, he built a program called Synapse. Synapse learned about the user's music preferences. It could suggest new songs. Mark had built a small artificial intelligence program at 12 years old. Many adults did not understand it. Even his teachers were surprised. Mark was learning faster than most people his age. Even with this talent, Mark made many mistakes. His programs sometimes crashed. Some ideas did not work at all. But he never gave up. He understood a simple truth: mistakes are lessons. Failure is a step toward success. While other children might stop when they fail, Mark tried again and again. This mindset helped him grow every day. Mark also loved sharing his work. He showed his programs to family and friends. Sometimes they were amazed. Sometimes they did not understand. But showing his work helped Mark see problems he had not noticed. Sharing ideas made him better. He learned that learning alone is good, but learning with others is better. This story teaches us an important lesson. Curiosity is powerful. When you are curious, you explore, you learn, and you grow. Mark's curiosity started small, with games and messages, but it became the foundation of something much bigger. Every hour he spent learning made a difference. Every experiment taught him new skills. Now, imagine yourself at Mark's age. You have a computer. You have ideas. Will you play games made by others, or will you create your own? Will you give up when something is hard, or will you keep trying? Mark chose to explore, to create, and to learn. This choice shaped his future. As we continue, we will see Mark face his first big challenge. He will need to solve problems that are more difficult. He will make mistakes, but he will not stop. His curiosity and love for technology will guide him. This is the story of a young boy who loved learning, a boy who experimented, and a boy who dreamed big. His early curiosity and passion for computers were the first steps in his journey to change the world. Chapter 3. Facing Challenges and Making Mistakes. Welcome back. In this section, we will learn about challenges and mistakes. You will practice English words about problems, learning, and persistence. This part of Mark Zuckerberg's story teaches us an important lesson. Mistakes are not the end. They are the start of growth. Even though Mark was very smart, he did not succeed all the time. Many programs he made did not work. Sometimes the computer crashed. Sometimes the code had errors he could not find. Mark felt frustrated. He wanted everything to work perfectly. At first, he thought failure was bad. He worried that other people would laugh at him or think he was not good. One day, Mark worked on a program to help his friends organize their school activities. He spent hours typing the code. He tested it many times. But when he ran the program, it did not work. The buttons did not respond. Some features disappeared. Mark felt angry and sad. He thought, maybe I am not good at this. Maybe I cannot do it. Many children would have stopped. Many would have thrown the computer away. But Mark did something different. He looked at the problem carefully. He read the instructions again. He checked every line of code. Slowly, he found small mistakes. One word was wrong. One line of code was missing. When he fixed these mistakes, the program worked. Mark smiled. He learned an important lesson. Mistakes are part of learning. Failure is a teacher, not an enemy. Mark also faced challenges at school. Sometimes teachers gave him tasks that seemed too hard. Sometimes tests were difficult. Some students made fun of him because he was different. But Mark did not give up. He tried again and again. He asked questions. He read more. He practiced more. Step by step, he improved. He learned that hard work and persistence are more important than talent alone. Another example comes from his early programming projects. When he tried to connect computers in his house, the messages did not always go through. Sometimes the program froze. Sometimes it sent the wrong message. Mark felt disappointed. He could have stopped, but he did not. He experimented. He tried different ways. He asked his father for advice. Slowly, he made the program better and better. The program worked perfectly. Mark felt proud. He learned that solving problems takes patience and persistence. Mark's story shows a strong contrast. Some children see failure as a wall. They stop and feel defeated. Mark saw failure as a door. He opened it and learned what was behind it. Every mistake was a small step forward. Every failure taught him something new. This part of Mark's life also shows emotional growth. He learned to control frustration. He learned to focus on solutions instead of problems. He learned that mistakes are normal and necessary. Learning to accept failure is an important skill for life. It helps people grow, improve, and succeed. Mark's curiosity continued, even when he failed. He asked, "How can I make this better? What can I learn from this mistake?" This mindset helped him not only in programming, but in every part of life. He became stronger, smarter, and more confident. He realized that success is not about never failing. Success is about learning from failure and continuing to try. By facing challenges and making mistakes, Mark built a strong foundation for his future. He learned the value of patience, problem-solving, and persistence. He also learned that mistakes are not something to fear. They are tools to grow. These lessons helped him later when he built bigger projects, faced critics, and created something that could connect millions of people. Now, imagine yourself in Mark's shoes. You try something new, and it does not work. You feel frustrated. You have two choices. You can stop, or you can try again. Mark chose to try again. He learned from mistakes. He improved. He grew stronger. This is a lesson for all of us. Learning English, studying, or creating something new can be difficult. Mistakes will happen, but every mistake is a chance to get better. As we continue, we will see how Mark's persistence and love for technology led to his first real successes. We will see how small projects grew into bigger projects. We will see how learning from mistakes became the key to his achievements. Mark's journey teaches us that challenges and mistakes are not obstacles, they are opportunities. His story shows that courage, persistence, and learning from failure can change the path of your life. Chapter 4. Building the First Projects. Welcome back. In this part of the story, we will see how Mark Zuckerberg began building his first real projects. You will practice English words about creating, connecting, and thinking creatively. We will also learn an important lesson. Small ideas can grow into something big if you work hard. Mark loved projects. After learning programming and experimenting with small programs, he wanted to do more. One of his first projects was called ZuckNet. ZuckNet was a simple program that connected computers in his home. His family could send messages to each other from different rooms. His father, mother, and sister were amazed. They could type a note, and it appeared instantly on the other computers. It was a small idea, but it worked. At school, Mark saw another problem. Students and teachers needed a way to share information quickly. Sometimes messages were slow or lost. Mark thought, I can make this faster. I can make it better. Using what he learned from ZuckNet, he began creating programs for school. He made small apps that helped students and teachers communicate more easily. Even though these projects were simple, they showed Mark's creativity and problem-solving skills. Mark also loved to experiment with games. He created small games where players could move characters, solve puzzles, or answer questions. Sometimes the games were for fun, but sometimes they were for learning. Mark wanted to create things that were useful, interesting, and easy to use. His projects were small, but he thought about how they could help many people. One important lesson from these early projects is that small ideas have big potential. ZuckNet was just for his family at first, but the idea of connecting people with computers became much bigger later. Mark's school apps were only for a few students, But the skills he learned from these projects helped him build something that could connect thousands of people. This shows that even small steps can lead to big results. Mark worked long hours on his projects. He often stayed late at night typing code and testing programs. Sometimes the programs did not work. Sometimes he had to start over. But he enjoyed the process. He learned from every mistake. He also learned to think carefully about how people would use his programs. He wanted to make them simple, fast, and helpful. Another story comes from the time Mark connected computers in his home and at school. He wanted messages to move quickly and safely. Sometimes the computers were too slow. Sometimes the network failed. Mark did not give up. He tried different solutions. He added new ideas. He learned about speed, security, and efficiency. These lessons were small, but they prepared him for bigger challenges later. Mark's early projects also show his imagination. He was not afraid to try new ideas. Some people thought his projects were too small or unimportant. They said, "Why spend so much time on a simple program?" But Mark knew that learning, experimenting, and building were more important than what others thought. He saw potential where others saw only small tasks. These projects also helped Mark learn about people. By creating programs for his family and school, he learned what users liked and what they needed. He learned how to make programs easy to use. He learned that technology is not just about computers, it is about helping people. Small apps, small programs, and small experiments taught him important lessons about innovation, design, and communication. Imagine yourself in Mark's shoes. You have a small idea. It may seem simple or unimportant, but you work carefully, test it, and try to improve it. Step by step, it becomes something bigger. Small projects can grow into big achievements if you are curious, creative, and persistent. By building these first projects, Mark learned an important truth. Creativity and innovation start with small steps. You do not need a big company or a lot of money to begin. You only need curiosity, patience, and a willingness to learn from mistakes. Every line of code, every small program, and every project prepared Mark for the bigger work he would do later. As we continue, we will see how Mark realized the importance of friends and teamwork. He could not do everything alone. Collaboration and partnership would help him take his ideas further than he could imagine. His early projects showed potential, but the next step would teach him that working with others can make even small ideas grow into something extraordinary. Mark's journey reminds us that building small projects is the start of creating big changes. With curiosity, creativity, and persistence, small ideas can become the foundation for a larger vision. Chapter 5: Friendship and Teamwork. Welcome back. In this section, we will learn how friendship and teamwork helped Mark Zuckerberg grow his ideas. You will practice English words about working together, helping, and learning from others. This part of the story shows an important lesson. Even the smartest people need friends and support to succeed. Mark loved working on his projects, but he knew he could not do everything alone. Programming and building programs were exciting, but some problems were too big for one person. Mark realized that sharing ideas with friends could make projects better. He wanted to learn from others and also teach what he knew. Teamwork became a key part of his journey. When Mark went to Harvard University, he met many students who liked technology, programming, and innovation, just like him. They had different skills and ideas. Some were good at design, some were good at coding, and some were good at planning projects. Mark saw an opportunity. He thought, if we work together, we can create something bigger than just small programs for fun. Together with his friends, Mark started a project called Harvard Connection. This project was an early social network for students at Harvard. The goal was simple: help students connect, share information, and communicate more easily. Mark's friends helped design the program, test the software, and improve the user experience. Each friend brought unique skills to the project. Working with friends was not always easy. Sometimes they disagreed about ideas. Sometimes they had different opinions on how the program should look or work. Mark had to learn how to listen carefully, explain his ideas clearly, and find solutions that worked for everyone. This was a new challenge for him. He learned that teamwork is about compromise, understanding, and respect. The contrast between trying alone and working with a team became clear. Alone, Mark could build small projects and programs. He could test ideas and learn a lot, but there was a limit to what he could do. With a supportive team, the projects became bigger, faster, and stronger. Ideas grew because friends added their creativity, knowledge, and effort. Together, they could solve problems that one person alone could not. Mark also learned another important lesson. Sharing credit and responsibility is important. When the project succeeded, everyone felt proud. When problems happened, the team solved them together. This built trust and friendship. Mark realized that collaboration was not just about work. It was about building strong relationships, supporting others, and learning from each other. Harvard Connection was not perfect. It had limitations, and it was only for a small group of students. But it showed Mark the power of teamwork. It showed him how friends could help turn an idea into something real. It also taught him how to manage a project, communicate clearly, and encourage others. These skills would be very important for his future work. Another story from this time shows the value of friendship in learning. Mark and his friends often worked late into the night. Sometimes they made mistakes. Sometimes the program did not work. But together, they laughed, encouraged each other, and tried again. Alone, Mark might have given up when he faced challenges. With friends, he kept going. The project improved faster, and they learned more together than they could alone. This part of Mark's journey teaches an important life lesson. Success is rarely a solo effort. Friends, mentors, and supportive people make a big difference. They can help solve problems, share knowledge, and give courage when things are hard. Teamwork multiplies talent. Working alone is limited. Working together is powerful. Imagine yourself in Mark's shoes. You have an idea. You are talented, but you cannot do everything alone. You find friends or classmates who want to help. You listen to their ideas and share yours. Together, you solve problems, test new solutions, and create something greater than one person could do. This is the power of friendship and teamwork. As we continue, we will see how Mark and his friends turned their teamwork into bigger ideas. They began to think about solving real-world problems, not just school or small projects. Their collaboration and creativity would lead to something that could change the world. This is where vision, innovation, and determination come together. Mark's story reminds us that friends and teamwork are essential in life and learning. Alone, we can do some things. Together, we can achieve much more. The lessons from this time prepared Mark for the next step, connecting people on a much larger scale and solving problems that affected many lives. Chapter 6. The Idea of Connecting People. Welcome back. In this section, we will learn how Mark Zuckerberg had an idea that could change the world. You will practice English words about communication, connection, and imagination. This part of the story shows an important lesson. A simple idea, inspired by real problems, can grow into something extraordinary. When Mark was at Harvard, he noticed something important. Many students wanted to talk to each other, share news, or find friends. But communication was difficult. Students used emails, messages, or paper notices. Sometimes information was slow. Sometimes it was lost. Mark thought about how people could connect more easily and quickly. He imagined a system where everyone could see, share, and communicate in one place. Mark's idea was simple but powerful. He wanted to connect people, not just friends in a dorm or school, but everyone in the world. He wanted people to share stories, ideas, photos, and messages instantly. He thought about a network where people could stay in touch, even if they were far away. This vision was bigger than any small project he had worked on before. Many people around him did not understand at first. Some said, "Why do we need another system? Email works fine." Others thought it was too complicated, but Mark believed in his idea. He saw a problem. Students could not connect easily, and he imagined a solution. This is a key lesson. Noticing problems around you and imagining solutions is the beginning of innovation. Mark began working on a new project called the Facebook. He thought carefully about design, simplicity, and speed. He wanted it to be easy to use. Even students who were not familiar with technology could understand it. Mark also thought about privacy and security. He wanted people to feel safe sharing their information. Every decision he made was guided by his vision, connecting people and making communication easier. Before Facebook, many students felt isolated. They could not easily find friends, share news, or communicate with large groups. Mark saw this isolation and wanted to change it. He believed that communication should be fast, simple, and enjoyable. He imagined students feeling more connected, making new friends, and building a stronger community. His idea was not just technical, it was social. It was about helping people. Mark also thought about the power of connection beyond Harvard. He imagined students at other universities, cities, and countries using the system. He saw a world where people could meet, learn from each other, and share their lives. This vision was bigger than just one school. It was global. It was ambitious. Many people would not have believed it was possible. But Mark saw the opportunity clearly. Creating this idea was not easy. Mark had to combine many skills: programming, design, problem-solving, and creativity. He experimented with different features, tested interfaces, and wrote lines of code over and over again. Sometimes it worked. Sometimes it failed. But he never stopped. His curiosity, persistence, and focus on solving a real problem kept him moving forward. This story also shows a strong contrast. In the old way, students communicated slowly and often lost information. They were isolated or disconnected. In Mark's new system, people could share instantly, see updates, and find friends quickly. Isolation became connection. Confusion became clarity. Small frustrations became simple solutions. This contrast shows the power of a good idea. It can turn a problem into an opportunity. Mark's imagination did not stop at technology. He thought about people's feelings. He wanted users to enjoy the experience. He wanted it to feel natural, friendly, and fun. The design was simple, but the impact was huge. Every feature was designed to help people connect, learn, and grow together. Mark believed that technology should serve humanity, not just computers. Another story from this time shows his careful thinking. One day, Mark noticed students struggling to organize events and clubs. Notices were on bulletin boards, and many students missed important information. He imagined a digital bulletin board where students could see all events, join groups, and communicate easily. This idea led to important features in Facebook, like groups and events. Mark's vision grew from small problems to large solutions. Mark's idea also taught an important lesson for life. Great ideas often start with observation. By paying attention to real problems, you can imagine solutions that help many people. Mark noticed isolation and poor communication. He imagined connection and simplicity. He acted on that idea. This combination of observation, imagination, and action is a key to success in any field. Imagine yourself in Mark's shoes. You see a problem around you. Maybe it is in school, in your neighborhood, or in your family. You imagine a way to solve it. You test your idea, experiment, and improve. Step by step, small actions turn into big solutions. This is what Mark did. He took a simple observation and turned it into a global vision. By thinking about connection, people, and communication, Mark prepared to create something extraordinary. His idea was not just about technology. It was about helping people, building communities, and making the world smaller. The Facebook was born from curiosity, creativity, and a desire to solve real problems. As we continue, we will see how Mark launched the first version of Facebook. He will face excitement, challenges, and risks. But his vision of connecting people will guide every decision. This is where dreams become reality, and imagination meets action. Mark's story reminds us that even simple ideas can grow into something extraordinary. By observing problems, imagining solutions, and acting with courage, we can make a difference in the world. His vision of connecting people became the foundation of one of the most important networks in history. Chapter 7. Launching Facebook. Welcome back. In this section, we will see how Mark Zuckerberg launched Facebook. You will practice English words about starting, creating, and trying something new. This part of the story teaches an important lesson. Taking risks and acting on your ideas can lead to exciting opportunities. Mark worked hard on the Facebook in his dorm room at Harvard. Every day, he typed lines of code, tested new features, and fixed problems. He was excited but nervous. Launching a new program was risky. He did not know if students would like it. He did not know if it would work on all computers. He did not know what would happen if something went wrong. But Mark believed in his idea. He believed that people wanted to connect. Finally, the big day came. Mark uploaded the program to the Harvard server. He sent a message to the students. You can now join the Facebook. His heart was beating fast. He waited to see what would happen. Would anyone use it? Would it work correctly? Would people like it? At first, only a few students tried it. They created profiles, added pictures, and looked for friends. Slowly, more students joined. They shared posts, sent messages, and explored the new system. Excitement grew quickly. Students talked about it in dorms, classes, and cafeterias. The Facebook was spreading. Mark could not believe it. His program, created in a small dorm room, was connecting people in a new way. Launching Facebook was not easy. There were risks. Sometimes the servers crashed because too many students logged in at the same time. Sometimes the code had small errors that caused problems. Mark had to work quickly to fix everything. He worked late at night, sometimes without sleep, testing the system and solving issues. These challenges were stressful, but they taught him an important lesson. Risk and effort are part of success. The reactions of students were encouraging. Many said, "This is amazing." Some said, "I wish we had this earlier." Mark felt proud, but also learned another lesson. Feedback is important. Listening to users and making improvements is part of creating something successful. Every suggestion, complaint, or comment helped him make Facebook better. Mark also realized the contrast between risk and opportunity. Before launching, he felt uncertainty, worry, and fear. He did not know if anyone would use the program. But after the launch, excitement, curiosity, and opportunity replaced fear. The Facebook was growing, and Mark saw the power of his idea in real life. This contrast shows that taking a risk can be scary, but it can also open new doors. During the first weeks, Facebook grew quickly at Harvard. Students loved the program. They shared profiles, posted messages, and connected with friends. The excitement spread through the university. Mark saw that even a small idea, created in a dorm room, could reach many people if it solved a real problem. This was a key lesson. Start small, test your idea, and grow step by step. Launching Facebook also taught Mark about responsibility. With many users joining every day, he had to make sure the system worked correctly. He had to protect people's information and create rules for using the program. Mark learned that launching a product is not only about coding, it is about caring for the people who use it. Every decision had an impact. Mark's story shows another important contrast. Before launching, Facebook existed only in his mind and computer. It was a private idea. After launching, it became real. Students could see it, use it, and enjoy it. Dreams and ideas only become powerful when you act. Mark acted. He took the risk. He launched the program. And the result was amazing. Imagine yourself in Mark's position. You worked on a project for weeks. You are nervous, but you launch it. People start using it. They like it. They share it. The excitement is real. The risks were worth it. This is a lesson for all of us. Taking action, even when unsure, can lead to success. Mark also learned about teamwork during this time. Some friends helped him test the program, find mistakes, and improve the system. Alone, he could create the code, but with help, the program became better faster. This shows that launching a project is not only about courage, it is about support, collaboration, and learning from others. By the end of the first month, Facebook had connected hundreds of students at Harvard. The program had started as a small idea in a dorm room. Now it was real, exciting, and growing. Mark's vision of connecting people was becoming true. He learned that creativity, persistence, teamwork, and risk-taking all work together to make something meaningful. As we continue, we will see how Facebook grew beyond Harvard. Mark faced new challenges, external pressures, and unexpected problems. Growth is exciting, but it is also difficult. The lessons of launching prepared Mark for these new experiences. Mark's story reminds us that launching a project is both scary and exciting. Risks are part of success. Acting on ideas, learning from feedback, and working with others can turn a small dream into reality. The first day Facebook worked showed Mark the power of taking action and believing in your vision. Chapter 8: Overcoming Obstacles and Criticism. Welcome back. In this section, we will see how Mark Zuckerberg faced obstacles and criticism. You will practice English words about challenges, courage, and persistence. This part of the story teaches an important lesson. Even when people doubt you, staying focused and brave can help you succeed. After Facebook launched and grew at Harvard, not everyone was happy. Some people criticized Mark. Some students thought he copied ideas from other projects. Some professors and media questioned whether Facebook would work. There were even lawsuits. Some former collaborators claimed that Mark had taken their ideas. These challenges were difficult and stressful. Mark felt pressure. Sometimes he was worried. Sometimes he was tired and confused. The media wrote articles that were not always kind. Some critics said, Facebook will fail. Others said, Mark is too young to lead a big project. Many young people might have given up. They might have stopped believing in themselves. But Mark did not give up. He remembered his lessons from the past. Mistakes are part of learning. Challenges are part of growth. Curiosity and persistence lead to progress. Mark focused on the vision he had for connecting people. He did not let fear or criticism stop him. He knew that obstacles were part of the journey to success. One story shows how Mark handled criticism. A classmate said that Harvard Connection was copied and that Facebook had no future. Mark could have felt angry or sad. Instead, he listened carefully. He thought about the criticism and looked for ways to improve. He realized that some comments were helpful. Some criticism showed him problems he had not noticed. He used this feedback to make Facebook better. Mark also learned to make decisions under pressure. With lawsuits and media attention, every move mattered. He had to act quickly but carefully. He learned to stay calm, analyze the situation, and focus on solutions. This skill was very important as Facebook grew. Without persistence and courage, he might have been overwhelmed by the challenges. Another challenge came from mistakes in the program itself. Sometimes Facebook servers crashed. Sometimes features did not work properly. Critics used these mistakes to say the program was not reliable. But Mark and his team worked hard to fix the problems. They learned from mistakes. They tested new ideas. They improved the program. Mistakes became lessons, not reasons to stop. Mark's story shows a strong contrast. Some people would give up when facing lawsuits, criticism, or mistakes. They might feel fear, anger, or sadness. Mark chose a different path. He stayed persistent, focused, and brave. He learned that courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act despite fear. This lesson is true for life as well as work. Even under pressure, Mark remembered teamwork. Friends and colleagues supported him. They helped solve problems, improve features, and defend the program. Working together made obstacles easier to manage. Mark realized that support, collaboration, and communication are essential when facing difficulties. Through this period, Mark also grew personally. He learned patience, resilience, and focus. He understood that criticism is normal. Every successful person faces doubters and challenges. The difference is how you respond. By listening, learning, and persisting, Mark turned obstacles into opportunities for growth. Imagine yourself in Mark's situation. People doubt you. Mistakes happen. Problems appear. You have two choices: give up or continue. Mark chose to continue. He used criticism to improve. He stayed calm under pressure. He learned lessons from every obstacle. This mindset helps in school, work, or learning English. Challenges are steps toward success. By the end of this period, Mark had learned a powerful truth. Obstacles and criticism are not the end of the journey. They are part of it. Every lawsuit, every mistake, every negative comment gave him experience and knowledge. Every challenge made Facebook stronger and Mark wiser. As we continue, we will see how Facebook expanded beyond Harvard. Despite obstacles and criticism, Mark's vision reached students in other universities and eventually millions of people worldwide. His persistence, courage, and problem-solving skills became the foundation for global impact. Mark's story reminds us that giving up is easy, but persistence and courage are powerful. Even when people doubt you, when mistakes happen, and when challenges seem impossible, staying focused and brave can help you achieve your dreams. Chapter 9: Global Impact and Responsibility. Welcome back. In this section, we will see how Facebook grew to impact people all over the world. You will practice English words about communication, responsibility, and leadership. This part of Mark Zuckerberg's story teaches an important lesson. Great ideas can create big influence, but with influence comes responsibility. After Facebook expanded beyond Harvard, it grew rapidly. Students from other universities joined. Soon, people from different countries could connect online. Facebook allowed users to share stories, photos, and messages instantly. For many people, it was the first time they could communicate so easily with friends far away. Families could see each other's lives. Students could discuss ideas with peers in other countries. Mark's small idea had become global. Many people felt amazed and happy. A student in the United States could talk with a friend in Europe in real time. Families separated by distance could stay in touch every day. Friends could share experiences, celebrate achievements, and help each other. This new way of communication changed lives. It made the world smaller and people closer. Mark had created something powerful. With this global growth came responsibility. Mark realized that decisions he made affected millions of people. Every change in Facebook's system could help or hurt users. He had to think about privacy, safety, and fairness. He understood that leadership is not only about building something new, it is also about caring for the people you serve. Every choice matters. One story shows the importance of responsibility. A user shared private information accidentally. Mark and his team worked quickly to fix the problem. They learned that protecting people's data is critical. Small mistakes can become big problems when millions of people are involved. This taught Mark a valuable lesson. Ethical leadership and careful planning are essential when your work affects many lives. Mark also noticed the contrast between his early projects and global Facebook. At first, he connected a few friends in a dorm room. That was simple, personal, and small. Now, millions of people were online. Decisions had large consequences. The scale was enormous. The contrast shows an important truth. Even small ideas can grow into global influence, but with growth comes responsibility. Another story shows the human impact of Facebook. Two students in different countries, who had never met, became friends through the platform. They shared stories, helped each other with schoolwork, and even met in person later. Facebook helped them feel connected, supported, and understood. Mark's work was not just technology, it was building relationships and trust across distances. Mark learned that leadership requires careful thinking. It is not enough to have a good idea or create a popular program. Leaders must consider ethics, fairness, and the impact on others. Every new feature, every change, every decision affects real people. This lesson in responsibility is true for life as well. Success is meaningful only when it benefits others and is guided by good values. Imagine yourself in Mark's position. You create something that millions of people use. Every action matters. You must think carefully, act responsibly, and make choices that help others. This is both exciting and challenging. Mark embraced this responsibility, learning from every situation and improving his leadership skills. Facebook also inspired other innovators. People saw how a small idea could grow into something global. They learned that creativity, curiosity, and persistence can lead to enormous impact. But they also learned that ethics and responsibility are essential for sustainable success. Mark's story became a model for future leaders and entrepreneurs. Through this global growth, Mark remained focused on the vision, connecting people. He remembered the lessons from his early projects, teamwork, and persistence. He applied them on a much larger scale. He worked with his team to improve the platform, respond to challenges, and help people communicate better. His commitment to his values guided every decision. Mark's journey teaches an important lesson for all of us. Small ideas, when nurtured with care and responsibility, can grow to help millions. Influence is powerful, but it comes with the need to act ethically and thoughtfully. By learning from mistakes, listening to others, and focusing on positive impact, we can use our talents to make a difference in the world. As we continue, we will explore Mark's personal growth, values, and life lessons. We will see how his experiences shaped not only his career, but also his character. These lessons can guide all of us in learning, working, and living with purpose. Mark's story reminds us that success is not only about achievement, it is about responsibility, leadership, and using influence for good. His global impact shows that ideas can change lives, but only when guided by ethics, care, and vision. Chapter 10. Lessons in Personal Growth. Welcome back. In this section, we will explore the personal growth and values that helped Mark Zuckerberg succeed. You will practice English words about habits, persistence, learning, and mindset. This part of the story teaches an important lesson. The way we think and act every day shapes our future. Mark was always curious. As a child, he wanted to understand how computers worked. As a teenager, he explored programming and created small projects. At Harvard, he asked questions, tried new ideas, and experimented. Curiosity drove him to learn continuously. He never stopped asking, "How can I make this better? How can I solve this problem?" This mindset was the foundation of his growth. Mark also practiced persistence. Many of his early programs failed. Servers crashed, mistakes were made, critics doubted him, lawsuits appeared. Yet, he did not give up. He kept working, learning from every mistake, and improving. Persistence helped him turn challenges into opportunities. It taught him that success is rarely immediate. It comes from steady, consistent effort over time. Another key quality was risk-taking. Mark launched Facebook when it was still an untested idea. He left his dorm room and his comfort zone to act on his vision. Taking risks means moving forward even when the outcome is uncertain. Mark learned that great achievements often require courage and the willingness to face the unknown. Without risk, small ideas may never become reality. Mark's daily habits supported his growth. He worked long hours, often late at night. He experimented with code, tried new features, and tested ideas. Even small routines, reading, observing, and reflecting, helped him improve. These habits may seem ordinary, but they accumulated into extraordinary results. Consistent effort, attention to detail, and dedication shaped his success. Learning from mistakes was another important lesson. Every failure taught Mark something new. A program that did not work showed him how to design better systems. Criticism revealed blind spots he had not noticed. Negative feedback became valuable information. Mark learned to embrace mistakes, analyze them, and use them to grow stronger. This mindset is essential for learning and personal development. Mark also valued focus and priorities. He concentrated on ideas that could make a difference. He did not waste time on distractions. Even when external pressures were high, he stayed committed to the vision of connecting people. Focusing on what matters helped him achieve results that many thought were impossible. Ordinary effort may be scattered, but focused effort leads to extraordinary outcomes. Another story from this time shows Mark's approach to challenges. When Facebook servers crashed during a busy period, he stayed calm. He analyzed the problem, coordinated with his team, and implemented a solution quickly. Some people might panic, blame others, or give up. Mark used the moment to learn and grow. His mindset turned pressure into opportunity. Mark's story also teaches the power of reflection. He often thought about his goals, decisions, and lessons learned. Reflecting allowed him to improve strategies, refine ideas, and grow as a person. Personal growth is not just about working hard. It is also about thinking carefully, learning continuously, and adapting. Contrast is important in Mark's journey. Ordinary effort may lead to small results. Many people work hard but lack focus, persistence, or curiosity. Mark combined these qualities with courage and discipline. The result was extraordinary. He transformed a simple idea into a global platform used by millions. This shows that mindset and habits matter as much as talent or intelligence. Imagine yourself in Mark's position. You are learning something new. You make mistakes, you face critics, you have challenges, you continue, reflect, and improve. Over time, small actions lead to big results. Curiosity, persistence, risk-taking, and learning from mistakes are tools anyone can use to grow personally and professionally. Mark's story reminds us that success is not only about talent or opportunity. It is about mindset, daily habits, courage, and learning from every experience. Ordinary effort, applied consistently and wisely, can produce extraordinary results. Personal growth is a journey, not a destination. Every small step matters. As we move to the final section, we will see a hopeful and inspiring conclusion. Mark's journey teaches us that anyone, anywhere, can make a difference. His story shows how curiosity, persistence, teamwork, and ethical leadership can transform ideas into reality. The next part will inspire you to take action in your own life and learning. Chapter 11. Inspiration and Takeaways. Welcome back. In this final section, we will reflect on the lessons from Mark Zuckerberg's journey and how they can inspire you. You will practice English words about curiosity, persistence, teamwork, and vision. This part of the story teaches an important lesson. Anyone can make a difference if they act with courage, focus, and imagination. Imagine a young learner today. You might be sitting at your desk, opening your computer, or reading a book. You may feel nervous, uncertain, or stuck. You might wonder, can I really do something important? Can I make a difference? Mark's story shows the answer, yes. Even small actions, repeated every day with curiosity and persistence, can grow into extraordinary achievements. Curiosity is the first key lesson. Mark always wanted to understand how things worked. From a young age, he explored computers, asked questions, and experimented. He tried new programs, built small projects, and never stopped learning. Curiosity leads to discovery. When you are curious about English, technology, or any subject, you open the door to learning and growth. Asking questions, trying new exercises, and exploring ideas is the first step toward success. Persistence is another lesson. Mark faced many failures, mistakes, and criticism. Some programs crashed, some projects did not work, some people doubted him. But he never gave up. He kept learning, improving, and moving forward. Persistence transforms obstacles into opportunities. For learners, persistence means practicing English every day, even when it feels hard, even when mistakes happen. Step by step, small effort leads to great improvement. Teamwork and collaboration are also powerful. Mark's projects grew stronger when he worked with friends and peers. Together, they solved problems, shared ideas, and improved programs. Alone, progress is possible, but teamwork multiplies creativity and impact. In life and learning, finding friends, classmates, or study partners helps you learn faster, gain support, and share knowledge. Working with others turns challenges into shared victories. Vision is the final lesson. Mark imagined a world where people could connect instantly, no matter the distance. He thought beyond his dorm room, beyond Harvard, and beyond small projects. His vision guided every action, decision, and challenge he faced. Having a vision means knowing what you want to achieve, even if it seems difficult. For English learners, your vision might be speaking confidently, understanding stories, or connecting with people globally. A clear goal helps you stay motivated and persistent. Contrast is important in this story. At the start, Mark was just a curious boy in a room with a computer. He faced ordinary challenges, mistakes, doubts, and criticism. By taking action, staying persistent, learning from mistakes, and collaborating with friends, he created something extraordinary, a platform used by millions worldwide. This contrast shows that ordinary effort, combined with the right mindset, can produce extraordinary results. Imagine yourself applying these lessons. You feel stuck, nervous, or afraid. You could stay in your comfort zone, repeating the same routines, avoiding risks, or you could act like Mark. You could explore new ideas, practice English, collaborate with friends, and persist through mistakes. By choosing action, curiosity, and courage, you open doors to growth, learning, and success. Let's think about daily habits. Mark worked consistently, often late at night, testing code and improving programs. Small, regular actions accumulate into big results. Learning English works the same way. Practicing a little every day, listening, reading, writing, or speaking builds skill over time. Ordinary effort, when consistent and focused, leads to extraordinary results. Mistakes are not failures, they are lessons. Mark learned from every error. When servers crashed or features failed, he analyzed the problem and improved. In learning English, mistakes are the same. Each error teaches you something new. Don't be afraid of mistakes. They are part of the journey toward mastery. Courage means continuing, learning, and improving. Collaboration and teamwork amplify results. Mark's friends helped design, test, and refine his programs. Together, they solved bigger problems than one person could manage. In English learning, you can work with classmates, friends, or online partners. Share ideas, practice conversations, and help each other. Learning together is faster, more fun, and more effective. Vision guides action. Mark saw a future where people could connect worldwide. He stayed focused even when obstacles appeared. In your life, a vision gives direction. Set a goal for your English, your career, or your personal growth. Let it guide your choices, motivate your effort, and inspire you to keep moving forward. Vision turns ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. Contrast again shows the lesson clearly. Feeling stuck, afraid, or small can hold you back. Taking action, practicing, learning from mistakes, collaborating, and imagining a bigger future moves you forward. You may start small, like Mark in his dorm room, but consistent effort, persistence, curiosity, and vision can grow into something life-changing. Mark's journey also teaches hope. No matter your age, location, or background, you can make a difference. Big ideas often start with small steps. Curiosity, persistence, teamwork, and vision are tools you can use every day. Even small improvements in English, learning, or life can accumulate into big change. As we finish, remember this. The story of Mark Zuckerberg is not just about technology. It is about mindset, courage, learning, and growth. It shows that ordinary people, with ordinary tools, can achieve extraordinary things when they act with curiosity, persistence, and vision. You can apply these lessons to learning English, personal goals, or any dream you have. Take a moment and imagine your own journey. What small action can you take today? What idea or dream can you explore? Who can you collaborate with or learn from? How can you practice curiosity and persistence? Every step counts. Every effort matters. Like Mark, your small actions can grow into something amazing. The key takeaway is clear. Success comes from curiosity, persistence, teamwork, and vision. Ordinary effort, applied consistently and guided by courage, can change your life and the lives of others. Let Mark's story inspire you to act, learn, and grow every day. Remember, you are not alone. Everyone starts somewhere. Mistakes, challenges, and fear are part of the journey. Keep moving, stay curious, work with others, and dream big. Your small steps today can create extraordinary results tomorrow. Mark's story ends with hope and inspiration. Now, it is your turn. Take action, embrace learning, and believe in your vision. The world is waiting for your ideas, your effort, and your courage.